I'm probably going to make a lot of people angry about this, but I'm going to be listening to Faint by Linkin Park, and I am not a fan. Let's get started. So this is from their 2003 album, Meteora, and it's a fairly short song. Let's see how long I can make this video. Okay. I'm not a fan of that opening. It's very bright and high-pitched. It's also a little too rough around the edges for me. As I'd mentioned in other videos, I do like songs that have a good lead, right? You want a song that's got a great opening so that you continue to listen to it. This sort of does that, but it makes me want to keep listening to see if it gets better. I do, however, like how they led in with the main rhythm and how they started out with, or in the break it was like da na na na, and then they kicked down. So I dug that. Let's keep going.
Loneliness, a little bit of disregard, handful of complaints, but I can't help the fact that everyone can see these scars. What I want you to want, what I want you to feel, but it's like no matter what I do, I can't convince you to just believe this is real. So let go, watching you turn your back like you always do, face away and pretend that I'm not, but I'll be here 'cause you're all that I got.
All right. So I have mentioned that I appreciate bands who put their time into making good music and put their time into making a song that's full. They've sort of done this. They've got the synth in the background kind of giving the dare now. And that does add a nice layer to it. I do like that. I also like that as he's in between his speaking and vocals, that we do have the distorted guitar come in with a punch. That I like that too, because it is adding a little bit of nice variety for that. But let's see, just keep going.
I can't feel the way I did before. Don't turn your back on me. I won't be ignored. Time won't change this damage anymore. Don't turn your back on me. I won't be ignored. I'm a little bit insecure.
This is one of the reasons why I wanted to do this over 20 years later, because I've never liked his voice. I know it's two different singers. I liked the first singer's voice, the ones that starts out. The yelling part, I don't like his voice. It does not sit right with me in my ears. I think that and I know this will probably make some people mad, but if they had a different singer for those parts, I think it would be a little bit better. It's not the right voice to me. I can't. I was hoping I would be able to get over that, and I haven't yet. But let me keep going. I do like the way that they've kind of done this as a rap, hard rock mix, and I'll talk about that in a second. But let me keep listening.
You're a little unconfident, 'cause you don't understand to do what I can, but sometimes I don't make sense. I am what you never want to say, but I've never had a doubt. It's like no matter what I do, I can't convince you for once just to hear me out. So let go, watching you turn your back like you always do, face away and pretend that I'm not, but I'll be here 'cause you're all that I got. I can't.
All right, I like the short bridge they did there in between. Switching between the main rhythm and the chorus. Kind of did a brief break, and then we hear the da-na-na-na, and then he goes into yelling.
The way I did before, don't turn your back on me. I won't be ignored.
ironically, he's saying, "Hear me out now. I won't be ignored." Pretty sure that's what he's saying. Yet you can't really understand what he's saying. Taking a step back, I get that this is about an emotional experience. We've got two different voices. One's kind of the calm voice, one is the anger voice. And we're coming at this from two different angles. So, we've got our nice vocals that come in, and then we've just got this rage that's coming in. And again, it's too much like a kid screaming. It doesn't sound like it fits too well. And I'm sorry. It doesn't resonate. I'll get over that fact. Don't get me wrong. There are bands, and I do know, I'll get to that in just a minute. Sorry, because I do want to finish the end of the song. I do like, though, how they're adding in these variations within the song to make it complicated. I should have faded out his scream. Good break. Three chords. Cool end. Okay, so I'm trying to be constructive. And I know that this song came out in 2003, and that was an era kind of around that time for this style of music. There were 3 or 5 really popular bands that had this style, and it is a testament that Linkin Park has lasted this long and continues to have these great followers. And I get that. I don't mean any disrespect. For me, though, musically, that it's not appealing. And I have listened. I listened to Metallica. I listened to a lot of death metal. I've listened from King Diamond down to Death and Obituary. And I didn't, again, vocal-wise, Cannibal Corpses did not sit with me. In any case, Sepultura. There are some bands, and if you haven't heard these bands, while they do sound horrific, they do a lot of, growling and screaming. But musically, and these are bands that were in the 80s and 90s, musically, there was wonderful talent there. And vocally, it went well. Even though they were yelling and screaming, it went harmoniously. It went well. But for some reason, his voice just doesn't do that for me. And maybe it's because I've been spoiled on these other bands that had that capability and artistry to have a musician and a lyricist or a vocalist that blended well with the music. I'm not taking away from Linkin Park. Just for me, that's one of the reasons why it doesn't sit too well in my ear. And like I said, I know that there are bands during this time that is what they did. They would have somewhat of a rapping session or a more rap-based melodicy that went along with the music in the background. I used to listen to Anthrax, not quite heavy metal. Well, they were somewhat heavy metal. But my point in that is that in the early 90s, they did something exactly like this. They worked with Public Enemy, and they made a video and their own song, and that actually went over really well. This is a little bit heavier as far as, I'm pretty sure they're in a drop D. If not, they're still a drop lower than your standard E tuning. And they're using, I'm pretty sure, a drop tuning because they're not using bar chords. And if they are, it's very minimal. I digress. I feel like there's something there, but it could be here for me. And it's not quite, like I said, I was hoping 20 years would make me think differently, and it hasn't, unfortunately. That being said, though, if you are a huge Linkin Park fan, I want you to send me some songs that you think that I would like and appreciate. I picked, like I said, I picked Faint because I have listened to their other two popular songs, and I can't remember the names right now. So I wanted to at least do one that I had not heard in that same era. And I haven't, of course, listened to any of their newer music, so I don't know if their music style has remained the same. I would assume, because of having such a huge following and the amount of fans that they got in the beginning, probably sustained that, but I don't know. So if that has changed, or there are different songs or newer songs or an album that you think I should listen to, let me know. I am curious, because musically, I don't hear it. I really don't hear it. And I would almost be curious to know how much of the producer had input on some of this versus the band itself. Again, I could be wrong. I've been wrong throughout my entire life. But that's why I ask you to set me straight or tell me your opinion. So put it in the comments, put it on the community board. I'm, again, curious. I'm always looking for other bands and new bands and revisiting bands. Yeah, this just did not do it for me. There's not even, this song is mainly consists of 3 chords, and there's no proper bridge melodically throughout this. There's not even a lead solo or lead synth, keyboard, drum. I don't hear it. But let me know what I've missed. Do you like the song? Do you like Linkin Park? If you do like Linkin Park, let me know why. What am I missing? If you don't like Linkin Park, do you agree with what I've said? I'm curious. I appreciate your time and listening to Melodic Logic. Have a good rest of the day. Take care.